Alright, it's that time of year again. Hobbit Day is approaching. This video will probably be posted after, but at least you'll have something to look forward to next year when you're preparing for your Hobbit Day festivities. Every year for Hobbit Day for the past few years, I host a watch party of Lord of the Rings, and we specifically watch the extended versions. It's literally an all-day thing. It starts about 9 or 10 in the morning. There's some breaks between switching out the films, and it usually ends around 10 p.m. But during this watch party, we have a feast, because you should do that on Hobbit Day. It's called Hobbit Day, you know? We're celebrating Lord of the Rings, and we're celebrating the day the Fellowship of the Ring starts their journey towards Mordor to destroy the One Ring. So you're gonna need a lot of food, and a lot of good food. And everything I do for my party, I do my best to make it themed. So the food that we have is food that is based in the books as well as in the films. I also have a Middle-earth cookbook, and there's recipes in there. Everyone brings a dish, and you know, I've got like tea and I've got coffee and drinks, you know, and we just make a big day of it, and it's a lot of fun. Also, my party, I generally ask people to come either like in costume or something like a cloak. It doesn't have to be complicated, or like a Lord of the Rings shirt. Just something to kind of like bring Middle-earth into the party. This also includes decorating. So it's not to put together right now, but I'm gonna use some of my old action figures from when the movies came out to kind of decorate around the place. I also have other things that I'll show you in terms of like, I've got some cool gold leaves, I have gold coins that I scatter about, I've got some old like antiquarian books that I stack up, you know, candlesticks, maps, you know, I just, again, as I almost try to bring in like this elvish feel that's like glimmering about, while also like being in a hobbit hole, you know, like in Bilbo's home in his study or something. So again, just kind of like adding to the surrounding of the whole party while you're watching the films. And depending on how many people come to the party, because it kind of varies every year, I like to do like Lord of the Rings trivia, and I also have prizes. So I usually have like replicas of the 3 elvish rings, the One Ring, and sometimes an elven brooch. And I every year try to kind of up the game a little bit. For now, I'm gonna get started. I also just like to decorate with Lord of the Rings memorabilia, so Return of the King on VHS. Man, the detailing on these figures is just phenomenal. It's so great. They don't make action figures like they used to. Well, that's not entirely true. They do, but they're collectibles essentially, and they're way more expensive than just an average action. Like, this was an average action figure. Like, the detailing is insane. And check this out. This is an accessory. This is literally his book, There and Back Again. It opens. It says There and Back Again. Like, amazing. Dude, that's insane. Like, the batteries in this are literally like 21 years old. That's hilarious. Dude, this is like the cheapest plastic ring ever, but I thought it was so cool as a kid that it came with Frodo, and I was like, oh my gosh. There's not even writing on it. I was like, I have the One Ring. It was my precious. Check this out. Saruman and Magnetic Palantir. So I like to decorate for the party with my Tolkien books, so I'm going to remove them from here temporarily and fill in the space. King Éomer at Aragorn's coronation. Aragorn at the Battle of the Black Gate. So next to this delightful sign that my sister-in-law made me with a beautiful Tolkien quote, which I believe is from The Hobbit, I'm going to go ahead and put Aragorn and Brago. So on this table, I'm gonna have like napkins and plates and things like that. So obviously had to deck it out. I've got my original Happy Meal toys here that I think were from Burger King, if I'm not mistaken. So forgive the mess, but I'm gonna have different kinds of tea here with sugars and cookies. So again, just to kind of keep everything on theme, I figured I might as well decorate the surrounding areas with these guys. So there's a lot of ways you can decorate for a Lord of the Rings themed party. I just went on social media and YouTube and Google and just looked for Lord of the Rings themed party, and whatever I liked I saved or screenshot. You could probably use Pinterest. I don't use that. I already have a ton of social media, and I don't need another one. But it might be easier either way, just whatever works for you. So for me, I was a big fan of the books growing up, and I love that there were maps in the books. I love how they portrayed them in the movie. You can get some paper, like craft paper. I just found a map that I liked and printed it out, cut it. You can tear them, you can rub them, whatever, make them look weathered. So you can use these maps and decorate with them and make that like Bilbo study. Since I have a bit more decorating to do and I'm not going to film the entire process, I'll show you some of the things I do have and what I like to use. So I'm not an interior designer or anything like that, but I am a filmmaker and an artist. I pay attention to detail and things like colors. I try my best to not create things that like clash too much. Even though I love colors, it's like if you do too much, it can be kind of like, ugh. So I like the elves, so I wanted to do leaves, but I didn't just want to have a mishmash of everything. I didn't want to have like a bunch of green and red and then like orange fall color ones. I just thought that would be too much. So I kind of had to pick, you know, one or two colors. And then I was also just thinking about the color of my home, like what colors look good with that, with the other decor that I have already. I liked the gold. I feel like it's obviously beautiful and, you know, maybe not necessarily natural. If you think about the elves and like Lothlorien and all of their metal work and everything, it's like it's illuminated and it's just like pretty. So I opted for these. So you still get that kind of earthy feel of being in like an enchanted place like Middle Earth, but then you get the elegance of like high elves or something. At least that's my thought process. That may not make sense, but there we are. Also to create more of this feel of being in the world of Lord of the Rings as a whole during the party. Yes, I'm kind of like touching on multiple things like a hobbit hole, like elves, you know, like Middle Earth, but then just like creatures. So like a bird might fly up to the hobbit hole window, or you might just see one out in the forest. So I didn't buy a ton of these, but I just thought it'd be a cool, nice little touch to kind of hide them in certain areas where you may not typically look, or maybe you do notice them off the bat, but again, they're not these big, clunky decorations, and the color of them as well, I think, goes nice with the gold, with the color of my home and the other decorations. So I don't feel like they're standing out in a way that's awkward or weird. And what's a Lord of the Rings party without rings? So I've got these guys here and I just put them in like a decorative bowl or something like that. And you know, it's nothing fancy. It's just costume jewelry, but you know, it's just party favors. Lord of the Rings, right? Grab a ring, just something fun to like play around with. These I believe I got on Amazon, and I think you can find these at other party stores like Party City, things like that. I've seen them around, but they're just really, really thin rings. But they're used usually for like weddings and stuff to decorate a table or something like that. But I don't know, I think they look really nice. And again, Lord of the Rings, I think it just fits in my party perfectly. So I just kind of scatter these about in different areas on furniture, around some of the food plates where people are gonna get drinks. I just kind of scatter these everywhere. And again, they're shiny and I like that. They go with the leaf as well. So that's what I was saying when I was talking about like thinking in terms of design and color. The gold and the silver goes with the gold leaves. It's beautiful. Obviously, we know hobbits like to eat and they like good tilled earth. So I figured I would decorate with like pumpkins, things like that. I also have coins. These, I can't remember exactly what I searched, probably like pirate coins or something like that. And again, just kind of like costume toy coins. I can't remember how many in a bag. I don't know if it says on here. Oh, 200 pieces. So, I mean, I feel like that's plenty for me. Depends on, again, the size of your home, how many you need. But I really like these because, you know, think about Bilbo. He got all that gold from the Dragon Hoard, you know, from Smaug, and he brought it to his home. And it makes sense to like maybe have some gold pieces lying around the house just because he has so much of it. He might be studying it. Also, I have this nice chest that I think goes really well with having these kind of scattered about. And again, it just adds to your imagination and what you think about when you think Lord of the Rings. And I think it really enhances the overall feel and look of the party. So that's pretty much what I use in terms of decorations. I also use a lot of old books that I stack around as well. I think I mentioned that earlier, and I'll do my best to show that to you after the fact, but I'm gonna get back to decorating now. Okay, I've got some of the food set up right now. I still have a little ways to go. I need to get water in the little jug here. Got some coffee going. I've got my Aragorn costume on. This wig and everything actually makes it really difficult to kind of set everything up.
Oh, you're taking pictures.
It's a video.
Oh, it's a video.
Yeah.
Ah,
Eric's saving my life, everybody. He's helping me make breakfast. I hope you enjoy these ideas and tips on how to throw a great Hobbit Day party. As you can see, we enjoyed a lot of great food while watching these incredible films, but more importantly, I had a fantastic time making memories with my family and friends. If you enjoyed these tips, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.